Hi, this is Daniela Wolf with Bestie Life, the podcast, and this is your community to support you through the little and not so little events that make up your day-to-day life. From the I've got this moments to the I just can't moments. We are here to empower all women to find and develop the skills they need to find peace, balance, and the bliss in their busy. Through solo episodes as well as interviews with amazing women who share their journey and their story and how it works for you. I hope you find the inspirations to make you laugh, think, as well as maybe rethink what you thought you knew, and connect as we realize that we are all living similar ups and downs and don't have to do it alone. So excited for you to hear this episode, and thanks so much for joining me today. Hi, this is Daniela with Bestie Life, the podcast. Thank you so much for being with me today. Whether you're walking the dog, folding the laundry, driving to work, or just sneaking in a few minutes for yourself, give yourself a high five. Definitely, it's going to resonate with today's episode, which is short, sweet, and packed with the little kick you might need to stop thinking about what you want to change and actually start doing something about it. And the fact that you're listening to this episode today, I would totally say is the first step in that direction. So congrats, kudos, and grab your favorite beverage, pen and paper to take some notes, and let's dive in. So here's the thing. You've probably seen maybe some posts already on social media and things like that we're halfway through the year. People are already like posting Instagram reset emails, big questions like, where has the time gone? Are you on track to hit your goals? And, those types of things. And maybe you're feeling a little bit of mix of motivation and maybe some guilt. I know I have as well. And I totally get it because this year's been busy and there have been a lot of things happening. Maybe you've had some wins. Maybe you've had some setbacks, whether it's in your personal life, your professional life, things happen. I know I'm in that sandwich generation and there have been some things going on with my parents that have definitely taken some extra time and my attention away from some other things. Maybe you've got young kids and you're kind of stuck in that survival mode. Like life happens and I totally get that, which is why I don't want to look at it as like the year's halfway over because that's just kind of a negative framework for me. I want to offer a reframe. So let's do some mindset work on this. We're not halfway done. We still have half the year left. Like, holy cow, we have a ton of time. If this year has felt long to you, guess what? We've got that much longer left. So that's 6 months, 26 weeks, 182 days of opportunity for yourself to still, whether it's start a small practice, hit a work or personal goal in some way. There's still so much time. So it's not the ideas that's going to change your life. It's the things you start doing, the small little actions that you start to take every day that 6 months from now, you'll be amazed at what just a couple of small, simple things are going to be able to help you with. And don't worry, this isn't about overhauling your entire day, your entire life. You don't need to run out and grab another planner, calendar, to kind of put everything on there and then just think about your new habit. We're going to start doing things messy, imperfectly, starting now. This whole week, my posts are all about one simple action step you can take, whether it's in your mindset area, your time planning area, your self-care area. One small little thing. You don't have to do it perfect. It doesn't have to take longer than a minute, some of them, but it's about starting now. So let me give you just a tiny example about this. Think about when you're brushing your teeth or actually teaching your kids to brush your teeth or whatever. You didn't start maybe with a perfect routine. I can remember having to tell my kids 100 million times, go brush your teeth, go brush your teeth. And they would get distracted. Maybe they would only do it for 5 to 10 seconds. They would get toothpaste everywhere in the sink. They'd, miss spots. But it happened, and over time, now they're adults, they figured it out. They've learned how to do it. You've learned how to do it as well. And, you don't even think about brushing your teeth because you don't remember when you were 5 years old and your mom was yelling at you to go do it all the time and those kind of things. But that's how change happens in a way that you can't even remember not being able to do it. You can't remember what it looked like when you didn't have the routine down. And I know that's a super basic one, But that's the thing. That's how change actually happens. That's how routines and habits happen. Not with big dramatic things, but with small daily choices to keep showing up, to keep doing it, to keep getting it right. And the thing is, most people don't fail because they're lazy. We're not lazy. The thing is, we get stuck sometimes, whether it's the way we're thinking about the task, if we think it's really big, if we think it's going to be hard. We think we need the perfect moment or the perfect kind of alignment in our life to start adding some different things. You want to feel ready. You think you need to get organized first. You want to know exactly how it's going to go and what the outcome's going to look like. But the thing is, here's what the research says. There's a lot of research out there. And there was a study done at the University of Scranton where it showed that 92% of people don't follow through on their goals, not because they didn't have good intentions, but because they didn't have that consistency in their action to build the momentum to keep it happening on a day-to-day basis. And so that's why I love to say, just do the thing, even if you only do it for 1 minute. And I'm going to share this week my 1 minute self-care practice. Whether you're doing just that one thing, when you do it consistently, you build the momentum to then be able to tweak it, to add on to it, to just keep doing the thing. And now you start to have these practices that you can build on to start making those bigger kind of achievements and shifts that you want to see in your day, in your life, towards those goals that you've set for yourself. So this week, I really want to challenge you to stop waiting for the perfect plan, stop waiting for everything to be aligned, and just take the next best step that you can. Even if it's not consistent yet, if it's messy, if you don't feel ready, or you kind of set some goals earlier this year and you've already dropped them and fallen off, that's okay. We can always start again. You can start small. Maybe your goal was too big, or the goal itself wasn't too big. I want to correct that. The goal wasn't too big, but the steps that you had planned out to try and achieve it were too big to take at that moment. Imagine if you're trying to climb a ladder. They have those rungs spaced a certain distance, but imagine if that first one was like 3 feet off the ground. It's going to be a lot harder to climb that ladder than if they were set, every 6 to 8 inches apart, kind of like how they already are, where they're spaced in a way that is manageable, that you can reach that first step and build on it to go to the second one, versus trying to jump up 3 feet for the first one, jump up 3 feet for the second one, so that's the thing. Maybe we need to break down those steps so much smaller so that you can start making progress, even if it feels like it's not what you want it to be because you're not at that goal in a fast way. And definitely coaching can help do that, to help spread that out a little bit for you. But definitely you can always start small, start gradual, and any progress is better than not. So instead of asking, what do I want to accomplish this year, break it down to what do I want to do today? What's one thing today, even if it's not achieving that goal right away, that's going to help slowly start to make progress in that direction. Because when you take that action and you just start, and there's actually like science again behind all of this. I love that these aren't just ideas and things that people thought of. There's real research and science behind that shows when you start to take action, you start to build your confidence, because that action helps create clarity, not only on what you should be doing, but also on what you don't need to do anymore, what's not working. And so every time you start to take action and a step in that direction, your brain starts to believe, hey, I'm someone who does this. I'm someone who walks every day. I'm someone who meal plans this week. And that's how you start building that self-trust in the fact that you can set goals and accomplish them. The other thing is you start to reduce stress. Any action, studies have shown that any action is going to reduce that anxiety, because once you're in the present of taking action versus anxiety, which is thinking about the future, thinking about what's going to happen, you've taken that future aspect of what if away by being present in the moment and doing it. And so it gets you out of being stuck in that indecision, and it helps you, like I said, make progress, even small, which is going to help calm your nervous system and help relieve any anxiety that you might have or stress about doing the thing, about achieving those goals. And then the last thing is you're going to create that momentum to building the habits and strategies you need to achieve it. Newton's first law says objects in motion stay in motion. So guess what? You start taking action, you're going to keep taking action, even if you might stop and start. Even if you have a couple hiccups along the way as you're getting going, starting makes it so much easier to keep going. I've heard some home organization experts talk about when it's decluttering and things like that. They don't want you to start with a whole room. They want you to start with one drawer, with one shelf. And that's it. Just do that one tiny little part of the room and walk away. And believe it or not, though, a lot of times once you start that, you do keep going, but having that expectation of something manageable is how people are able to get going and begin. And then the last one is also one of my favorites. It's that you get the dopamine hit, not just when you reach your goal, but when you're achieving your goal. I talk about this as part of, again, that 1 minute self-care practice. When you set a timer and you do it, you set a goal and you achieved it. Even if it's not the larger goal, the bigger goal, any small step along the way is going to make you feel good and make you more likely to keep doing it because we like that feeling, right? We want to keep getting those dopamine hits. So what does this look like in real life, right? These are a lot of great practical kind of strategies, but how can it apply to you? Maybe if you want to start taking better care of yourself, it doesn't have to be a full, meal revamp and workout routine. You can just start by adding one additional glass of water a day. I know a lot of times they say when you wake up, having a glass of water is ideal. So maybe you just put that glass of water on your bedside or next to your sink in the morning and you grab that first extra glass. That's one way. Maybe you want to feel more control of your time. Start blocking even just 10 minutes for one task today and protect that 10 minutes. It doesn't have to be extravagant. It might just be a simple little walk. It might be meditation. It might be a phone call with a friend that you've been meaning to catch up with. But just block even 10 minutes, 10, 15 minutes for one task that you wanted to do today. And you'll find when you start blocking these times and protecting them, how much easier it is to keep them woven throughout your day as you start to build then these small micro moments for yourself. Another area that I love to talk about is mindset. And so maybe starting to shift that mindset. That could be as simple as writing down one negative thought that you've had on repeat kind of and reframing it into something more helpful. Or even just a simple gratitude of writing one positive thing that made you smile today. These aren't massive things. They're super small shifts, but taking action just in some of these areas, whether it's your time, your mindset, and your self-care, over time are going to snowball into that real lasting change that you're looking for. So like I said, all this week on my social media posts, I'm going to be sharing short, doable action steps you can take to reset your mindset, your time, and your self-care. Each one is really simple, realistic, and designed to help you move forward no matter what this year has looked like so far. So let's not look backwards, and let's not try and look too far forwards either, but let's stay present in what can you do today. So if you take nothing else from today's episode, I hope it's this. Progress doesn't have to start with this massive, intricate plan. It starts with the decision to do something. So decide to start today, to prioritize yourself, to invest in yourself. I don't care if you start messy, start late, start small, but just start. You still have half a year left, 6 months. That's a ton of time. more than enough time to really do something meaningful. So thank you so much for hanging out with me today. Please let me know if any of this resonated with you. If this episode gave you the nudge you needed, please send it to a friend, screenshot it, tag me, and let me know that you're starting this week. Let me know what you're trying to do. I'd love to cheer you on. If you're not sure where to start, let's hop on a free quick coaching call. I would love to help you not only highlight where you're nailing it, what you're doing really great at, but also help you to see what that small first simple step can look like for you, because I think sometimes we can overcomplicate it in our own head, the expression, you can't see the forest through the trees. And I just want to help you find that one simple thing that's going to help you start to move the needle. But either way, thank you so much. Until next time, take care of yourself. Remember, you deserve it. You don't have to earn it. And I'll talk to you soon. So much again for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Please let me know any questions or comments that you have. Also, if you can please leave an Apple 5-star review so that this episode can be shared with more women. There's 2 quotes that I love. Alone we may be strong, but together we are stronger, as well as when women support each other, incredible things happen. So let's be stronger and incredible together, as well as maybe just have some fun along the way. Thanks so much and talk to you soon. Bye.